finally got that one sorted. Remade kick ban. Got ourselves back into a game 2 between Victory 5 and Rogue Warriors. All right, into game 2. Nothing happening into the level 1s. Usually when we get late into these games, you know, you miss a few summoners through invades. We saw a slight invade coming in from Victory 5, but no extra wards being placed. And on top of that, no one found in the Rogue Warrior jungle.
This is the weirdest Colonel pick that I've seen. Because he's going up and down on the scaling graph. It's just down for Rogue Warriors.
I mean, that's what we have been seeing in the last game between Rogue Warriors and Victory 5, which is, it just goes back and forth. You really do expect the teams to not really hold on to their leads, but take a look at the rune pages. A lot of inspiration secondary you can see between both of these teams. Unsurprisingly, you're seeing fleet footwork on the Corki. Sometimes you see Klepto, which is never smart.
It's good if the enemy is a Nautilus. That's fine.
True. That's true.
Seen a lot of Ares there as well. But for the rest of the map, the only thing I'd like to point out is Ben4 is going for the Halo Blades, a more gank-oriented skill choice than the Conquerors, which is a bit more common. And I really want to see him use that advantage towards the mid lane. They have a great one-shot burst combo from Mole. He's getting the teleport. He's getting the ignite over the teleport. Excuse me. So if he can find that kill earlier on, it will snowball quite heavily.
And you can already see the strategy coming into action. Rogue Warriors, the bottom lane just getting shoved in completely. Oh no, don't get sunned down like this. That's the result of Lux and Caitlyn. At least ZWuJi's getting some damage down, but nothing even close to what happened to Killua.
Killua better consider himself lucky that they didn't have an extra trap up for him. That's the kill combo we've been seeing in the league over and over again. And sometimes you don't have that gray health for it.
Ward being catched out, but it doesn't really matter. Windy's out here, out to dry. Let's see if he gets picked out. Should be able to blow flash. No, actually gets completely caught out. At least he comes out alive. That was expected, but is chunked out quite a bit.
Well done, and we're seeing more and more junglers do this path, much like SOFM, where they start out with the trinket and then switch toward the scanner. It makes you so much stronger in your early gank.
Yeah, and I mean, the wave being primed was a great job from Holder, too. Even the ward being able to catch Haro in rotation to be able to come in for the gank. Not much time that Windy had to be able to respond. You can already see, of course, ProView stream there for Windy in the Doyu stream, but you're going to have to pay hard cash for that one. Maybe free no
you
more.
Actually don't need to pay cash.
Really?
Yes, it's actually completely free.
What?
We are not ProView.
No, but like they said that you have to pay after a certain period.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but it's still trial tiered for everyone.
Yeah.
I really recommend watching it. It's so fun to see pro player habits, and you get to spot team chats as well.
Oh, yes,
team chats is huge.
That's true. I mean, I would love to see the same kind of creativity that you see from G2.
Thank your sponsors.
Yep. Thank your sponsors. Promote your your shop, and on top of that, say hi to your mothers.
I made it, Mom. MSI, best in the world. What a fun team G2 is. Can't get enough of them.
Just to have that much raw mechanics amongst yourselves and experience to boot as well. There's a lot of faith that you have, that you know the process. You don't have to communicate all the time. I remember when we talk about the new teams, especially between Victory 5 and Rogue Warriors, communication is so key because, I mean, for a lot of these players, they haven't been on this stage for a very long time. They don't necessarily know like the best plays, what they need to be able to communicate to their teams. And at the end of the day, synergy is always a constant question, especially for both these teams that are fairly new in the summer split. They got completely, changed up. So Ben4 is going to be caught out, but
he is a level behind, though. He can't win this 1v1.
Yeah, exactly. At least he's going to be defending his Grump. Has some help with Killua, so it's going to be a lot from the Cat Frog. Let's see how much damage comes through. Full committal from Victory 5. Flash for flash. Killua had to get out of that one, or else he was binded and dead.
Straight win from V5 here. That's one flash from double summoners on Killua, and he's a sitting duck underneath his tower. I like what Ben4 is doing this time around.
Oh,
he's
no.
clearing out the bot side and preparing for that dive. Talia, Mole already has a great lane advantage here in the mid lane. We can see him constantly pushing up. The river is controlled very well, and they have that Silk Road leading straight towards the bot lane.
Oh, great amount of damage on HuaTian. He has to be able to get out of there. One more auto attack, and that's that. There we go. First blood. So close being able to still, you know, Holder would have been able to get that just a second off, but no. Maybe a first blood going over to Mole, and somehow Holder was able to get the 1v1 over Windy.
Yeah, I want to see that again. Those 1v1 trades are so fun to see, and this is the second time that Holder has found a solo kill onto his opponent in the series.
Yeah, and just to track it for everybody out there, Mole was playing top lane last game. This time around playing mid lane, and it was Windy who was being thrown up into the top lane. So let's see what he had to deal with. He thought that this was a pretty good trade, but the electrocute procs come out. He even, flashes right in with the help of the minion damage as well. Windy did not see that one coming.
Windy did start that fight himself. He went straight in, and Rogue Warriors Holder just had so much more damage and the flash advantage. So a bit perplexing on Windy's part. That's just bad damage calculation from him.
Yeah, especially if you fight near the minion wave. Going into an electrocute champion. Have to get the numbers right. On that one, this is the great trade back on Holder. He recognized he had lethal and was able to just get the kill. So great job to Holder. 2 games in a row where he's just playing out of his mind. But that mid lane fight, something you have to focus on. HuaTian, that a lot of us are calling, you know, or at least I'm just going to talk for me. You can see, want to see what your opinion is of being the most improved player. Because once upon a time, he was just outright the worst mid laner in the LPL, close to Mala. But now it really feels like he's doing quite well for himself consistently in lane with this one blush that you see in this game.
HuaTian always had his highlight moments. It was always about keeping himself off the death recap.
Yeah,
I would say that would have been his main problem. Like, he was already an established Yasuo player when he came into the league and had a good showing on it multiple times. His Aurelia was quite on a knife's edge as well. It was just the times where he didn't show up or he flunked that you kind of remember him for, especially game 1 kind of happened there as well.
Yeah,
so that's the standard where I hold him on.
Yeah, earlier on in the split, there were a lot of troubles with him in the early portions of the game, but especially with his new identity that Rogue Warriors has. An injection of talent, too, with Haro and Holder. Been playing quite well, but seems like Haro's in no man's land. He needs to be able to find himself out of here. Yeah, Victory 5 has got him cornered. He has to be able to get out of there somehow. Tahm Kench giving him a little bit of an alley-oop towards his tower, so congratulations on that one. Killua played that one well to get Haro back on even ground.
Well done, and this game is shaping up to be quite different than game 1. This time around, V5 have a strictly just pure tempo advantage into the bot side. Nothing's being traded up in the top. Holder doesn't have those 3 kills like he had in game 1, and this means V5 can do an early transition. We always talk about that 10-minute Herald. They're on their track, they're on their way for it.
Going for it, even with the Leah getting the wall down. Easy kill on towards the Tahm Kench. Are they going to get 3 kills? Even with a double kill being put to Y4, they just smashed them.
Man, Haro thought he could do an outplay with a smart hold behind his tower. Rek'Sai didn't see him coming, but that was a 4-man versus the 3-man, and they completely aced that.
Yeah, they were so low in that instant. Even with the heal that Killua had and the flash that Ezreal was able to hold on to, they were just going to have to hold that. Here's another 1v1 there. Holder forcing the flash off of Windy in the top lane.
I got to see that replay again on the bottom side. That just happened so damn fast. ZWuJi did seem like he got a chance to even use his arcane shift. Pops right out and dies instantly. He's the only one with the flash behind that tower, and he doesn't get a chance to use it.
And a great call to bring Mole into the mix, who's been doing well for himself in lane. Got the solo kill really early on, get the first blood for himself, and found that window to be able to roam towards the bottom side of the map and help his team out. So already a far different game like you mentioned. Victory 5 are doing quite well early in this game.
And this is why we say Rogue Warriors draft seems a bit disrespectful. You can't really put a super weak bot lane early on and pair it with a Corki they're showing all of these picks before V5 gets their selection, and they're hoping to get away with it.
Yeah.
Which I feel kind of, it's very convoluted. If you have a weak bot lane like Ezreal, Tahm, Kench, then at least go with something stronger mid.
Oh no, Y4 is nearly alone on this one, but Max comes in to save him, but nearly eaten by the Tahm Kench, so had to flash away. They're going to turn this one on towards Haro, but just a little bit of damage on top of his head.
Whew, I'm surprised Y4 was able to keep himself off the menu on that one. Great E and great flash to dodge out on those final auto attacks from Killua.
Oh, looks like they have a pretty good idea. Let's see if they can get the full kill. Just a lot of damage on top of Haro. We should be able to get out of this one shot-free, but Haro's not been having an easy game here. Constantly being, bullied, essentially. Bullied on the bot side. Had to flash away on top of Tahm Kench and ended up dying underneath tower anyways. And towards the top side of the map, too, now you just see Rek'Sai playing it close alongside Y4 and Max.
I like what V5 are doing. They're coming in when Haro's off
doing
of
it
the
again.
map.
Looks like down goes Killua. Didn't even have a chance to at least throw his shield up. They're going to let ZWuJi up and alive, but man, this has been a tough one here. Second death to the Tahm Kench.
It's frog hunting season across the map. This no flash from Tahm Kench has been the most painful period of his life. And I just don't see how Rogue Warriors actually come back from this. They're so far behind, and even with Holder getting a lead, there's an ocean break on Windy. You're not going to be able to, if you don't fully trade and kill him in one go, he's just going to heal straight back up. You don't have that many chances.
All right, let's see what's happening in the bottom side of the map. Holder is going to be able to get out of there free. Now, he's actually been doing well this game. Solo kill that he had up top lane, and even forcing the flash off Windy, so it makes a lot of sense that Ben4 is just there to help him out. But back to the lane that matters. Please help the Tahm Kench. Don't kill him. Stop it. Please save the frog.
God save magical footwear.
I thought you were about to say God hates frogs.
No.
Because that's also fairly
If
true.
that was 20 seconds earlier, then he would have been dead. He got away because of the magical footwear, taking him out of range of the 90 caliber net, or else he was completely dead. And this is massive for V5. They not only get the top lane tower, they don't even use Herald on it. It's just pure 2v2 poke, able to get them 2 lanes in the early game. And you can see ZWuJi with his hands on his throat because he's feeling choked out.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested in the 14-minute mark when we get to find out how much gold is in the pockets of Y4.
It's already 13 turret platings now.
Yeah, I mean, you got a solid 10. I mean, it was shared, though, so I want to see how much of it was shared. But he's been putting in a lot of work, and it's been a fairly disciplined game from Victory 5. Reminds me of old EDG. I mean, you just play to your bot side, keep it close, and if it ever gets contested, as you saw what Haro was trying to do about 2 times, easily able to push him away.
That's an interesting point to bring up. If you talk about the genetics of the team, you have 2 players that were former RNG players, and Mole, who did play most recently on EDG. So they have a lot of this good experience. They're not ZWuJi, a newly formed team with pure rookies. They have a lot of those scrim time with top-tier LPL teams, and they can look to emulate that.
That's true. I got some experience via osmosis, just being in the same rooms with a lot of the most experienced players in the league. Do a lot of good. At least get the information on your side. If you can see, it's going to work. Already towards the mid lane, being able to take that one down. This game has just been really all in favor of Victory 5. Look at the goal lead. It's 5K goal lead, 14 minutes in.
Does feel pretty bad. Rogue Warriors, at the end of the day, they weren't able to hold on to their bot lane whatsoever, and I don't really see what they could have done with the champions that they selected for themselves. This seemed like it was bound to happen just based on the picks.
I will say, though, the reason why the goal is a little bit closer than you would have expected is because of just the raw farming that specifically Corki is going through. He's trying to go through that Rocky montage, getting towards the... yeah, so that's it. That's how much gold. Nearly 1,000 gold on towards the Caitlyn. That's the mystery that we had here. But yeah, Corki's trying to get to his Trinity Force, but if we're just talking about acceleration here, rather than the perfect farm that Corki's had, they had 0 turret platings reasonably, while Victory 5 got a lot. Every single one across the map.
They were missing just 2.
Okay.
The total count was 13, so when they took the mid tower down, that was already over.
That's sad.
But it's still the highest I've seen this split.
Yeah. I mean, clock struck 14 minutes as they were going towards mid lane, so I guess they were just a little bit off on that one. But yeah, this is just the most you'd expect. Victory 5 went for an all-in on the early game composition, while Rogue Warrior said, we'll just go back to what we did in game 1, which was heavy late game incentive, double AD carry, and an Aatrox for team fight. So let's see if it can pay off, if they can at least try and prey on any mistake Victory 5 is making. I really don't see one at the moment. They're playing this one pretty close to their hearts.
There's a couple things that Rogue Warriors does have on their side that they can continue to drag the game out. They still have the same poke composition, so no one's going to be face checking.
Okay, what is Tahm Kench doing behind enemy lines? He wants to at least just, threaten them. Say, hey guys, I have somebody near me. You may not know who he is. You might want to run away.
But that was a really good ward from V5 as well. They predicted the angles that Rogue Warriors could potentially come from, and they warded everything away. Now, going back to Rogue Warriors and what they still have on the map, they're not going to be face checking onto the brushes, and the top side of Jace is actually very easy to kill even underneath tower. So I think we're going to see Haro try to focus down on that. They're going to try to hold the rest of the map 3v4 and look for that 2v1 kill on the top side.
Yeah, let's see if they can do it. I mean, if we're talking about what Haro can accomplish here, really the only useful ultimates that he's going to be able to get, other than the Caitlyn, I mean, it's bonus AD, so it's not going to be scaling really well with him. It's going to be the Lux. If we're looking across the board, I mean, Talia ultimate sounds good, but they are in dire need of just additional damage here.
All too true. And V5 are walking away with this one. The only solace that Rogue Warriors have is at least they're not getting Mountain Drakes.
Yeah, they're trying to trade up top lane turret because you're right. At least the Dragons are not going heavily in favor of Victory 5. At least they're not the most useful ones. So turret trading, getting some gold underneath the Aatrox, who was playing well earlier on, sounds like a pretty good idea. Trinity Force has been completed by HuaTian, so at least he's able to get to his breakpoints. 174 CS, 17 minutes of the game, near perfect. So, been a pretty good game from Corki and the Aatrox. It's just been a bad game for Rogue Warriors.
I really like what Windy did in his rotation. He joined the rest of the team rather than staying top lane to pick up the wave. He got them 2 towers, he was safe, and even with Holder getting this long lane, he doesn't have the map presence to push out whatsoever. So V5 doing a good lane allocation to group, and you can already see them peeing towards the top side. Caitlyn's in place, Y4 is ready to push the entire thing out. It's just about how they set up vision on the top side now.
Yeah, and that's the most important part. That's the criticism that we made to Victory 5 in the last game when they had their leads, not being able to transition it pretty easily. And this is technically the hardest part of the comp for them. They don't have easy engage other than the Lux double binding. Or let's even say the Talia ultimate, the wall, but that even requires some bit of subtlety, vision control that you can have. And they were struggling with that with the last game. They want to be able to at least nail that down this time around.
And unfortunately for V5, already missing a couple of wards with the scanners. Rogue Warriors have been doing a very good job in getting teleport wards down. Both
nice
of those are great
vision
for Holder.
Yeah, nice ward that was catching Mole coming up top side, but are they going to be able to stop him? Talia ultimate is going to be able to keep the Corki on this side of the wall, but he has Valkyrie. He's going to be able to get over pretty easily. There's a lot of damage on this turret now.
I would say that was a very valiant defense by Rogue Warriors. Not that much damage actually being taken here. Good wave clear coming in from HuaTian, keeping it safe. And like you were talking about, they spot Mole as he comes up. That was a great ward, whoever placed that down.
Yeah, so at least Rogue Warriors are holding it pretty firm. This next wave is going to be important, though. If they can hold Victory 5 over for this one, then they've done their job. I don't think Victory 5 would double down, triple down even on this turret, but it's way too hard, way too difficult, and the amount of damage that they're putting down here. Y4 does get poked out by both the Ezreal and the Corki simultaneously. The wave is way too far off. I doubt they hold on to this one.
They back away instantly, and this game feels so depressing for Haro. There's no hard engages that he can steal. Usually a Sejuani and Nautilus would be perfect in these situations. But he only has the wave clear from Final Spark coming in from Max.
If at first and second you don't succeed, all right, they're not trying again. I was trying to make sure, because that would be a ridiculous amount of commitment. You already saw that Holder was essentially pushing the mid lane, being able to put himself in position for a flank. So Victory 5 have been putting in a lot of pressure. now that the clock has struck 20, about time to focus towards the Baron buff that's up and available.
A really fast Baron team with full damage coming in. Not a lot of percentage health, but I still think they can take it. The only question is nobody's going to be tanking it well either. So they do need to clear out this red side quite well on Rogue Warrior's end. They're running a poke composition that could be quite deadly to this. If I was V5, I would need a lot of insurances before I touch the purple one.
You already saw the Max's ultimate just to check if anyone's on the Baron pit, making sure if Rogue Warriors, they're not going for a desperation run on that one. And you're right about the difficulty from Victory 5 to sit on Baron. I mean, if they want to rush it, then fine, you can rush it. But if there's a contest for it, man, they're taking as much damage as they did in Game 1, and you already saw how hard that one was for them to be able to pick a fight. So they're going back to the lanes, recognizing that they're going to win this game. It's going to be through just the poke and turret siege as much as possible.
Just trying to get into the top side of the map. A pure transition ultimate. For Killua, still level 9, so it doesn't have that level 2 Abyssal Voyage.
What a bullet hell game that one was. Amount of skill shots flying to Y4, okay. Didn't even see that one coming. Doubt Killua did either.
Oh man. You can see that Haro wasn't thinking about the damage. He didn't think that that was going to kill him. Flash still in hand, instantly popped. He didn't even take the full 5 pebbles coming in from Q.
Yeah.
Just spirit.
You just had to eat those pebbles. I mean, at that point, double magic penetration, fully loaded. The Taliyah was. And here comes the poke. It's consistent. It's going to keep happening unless something happens, unless something stops it. Holder, or at least I would say Haro, we were looking to Haro to do anything. If he could steal a Lux ultimate, maybe the Taliyah ultimate, but nothing was pure engaged. And I think that's the real issue here. When you see the Sylas being picked up, a lot of the time it's because the enemy team, there's an engaged type of champion. There's a ZWuJi that's available to be able to get a fight going, a Nautilus even. There's none of that here.
Rogue Warriors, they were running a poke plus 4-1 type of composition. There's no hard engage necessary in that comp. And once they find themselves against a tempo and siege comp, nothing much that they can do. I have to point out that I love the itemization coming in from Y for this game compared to the Game 1.
Yep.
In Game 1, he wasn't reaching the tower, so he's going for extra wave clear with the Essence Reaver. Gives you a better Peacemaker and also infinite mana. But this time, since they do control the wave, he's going for the Rapid Fire Cannon instead, just so he can get more auto attacks, more safe shots onto the tower. Very interesting itemization based on how far the siege composition is.
And Static Shiv too, that's actually quite a bit of burst if he's able to nail a champion with that as well. And good wave clear that we were talking about, so he's not too concerned about any possible dives. The Aatrox finds himself in the back line, then great. I mean, congratulations. I wouldn't even know how you did it. But he's banking on the fact that that's not going to happen. So Static Shiv with the extra bit of damage and wave clear is going to be helping him out.
That's a great answer from Winnie as well. Very early Mortal Reminder. Just to rain on Holder's chances to come and bail themselves out of this team. V5, like we were talking about, setting up a very large buffer zone before they ever think about Baron.
And that's doing him a lot of good. And Winnie's holding Holder down. Thankfully, I mean, he's not going to fully commit. He's holding him in position. And with all that vision control that Victory 5 was able to provide for themselves, you'd expect them to actually head back towards the Baron and just go for the play. That's going to put Holder in a really bad spot. Sure, he's going to be able to take this tower, but he needs to base. He needs to find himself in a position to defend Baron. That's what we're expecting if Victory 5 just pull the trigger.
I think what you do with this composition is you push mid first, you make sure Roguers are locked up, and then you can use the Weaver's Wall and just lock them out completely of the red side. It gives you 5 seconds where the rest of the members on your team can just go ham on the Baron.
Clement, I think they're just taking too many steps now. At this stage, they're like, we need to set up top lane wave, we need to set up mid lane wave. They're as concerned as you were about, you know, how much damage they're going to be taken by the Baron, and if Rogue Warriors contest, we saw how disgusting that was in the last game.
I wouldn't have gone for this, Drake. I would have gone for the Baron, because they're just giving up what they set up.
Exactly. Now the wards in the top side of the map, Northern Quadrant and the jungle is starting to be taken out. So all of that heavy work that Victory 5 put in was given so they could take the Cloud Dragon.
Good stop by Uzi here. delaying the back, making sure they can hang on to that Baron side vision just a while longer, and this is going to allow them to mirror the back as well, so they're going to be on even footing, at least in item purchases.
All right, we're starting to see HuaTian coming online, close to getting his Infinity Edge, and it was all because of the fact that, that he wasn't forced in a pretty difficult spot. He was able to farm up 242 CS for himself. 25 minutes in, a little bit of slowdown, but that's just going to happen if the enemy team is constantly pulling you in towards Baron buffs. So if HuaTian can find that one back timing, an Infinity Edge pickup is going to be crucial. And you already see ZWuJi getting himself the Luden's Echoes. So third item there for ZWuJi. HuaTian looking for his second. It seems like Rogue Warriors are about to be online very soon.
Oh, Holder might find his chance.
He's going to find him. Didn't get him on that one. Got batted away by Windy, and that's what you're concerned about. Any bush unwarded, you expect the Holder to just be sitting there. They're just pushing up on mid again. So this is where we talk about what is your motive? What are you looking for? Victory 5 constantly finding themselves in this position where they don't want to take that last crucial step, knowing that one mistake could end it all with Rogue Warriors composition.
V5 just looking for that angle where they can get the Weaver wall across the Raptor ramp, and that should prevent Rogue Warrior from ever approaching the Baron pit. You can see that Caitlyn and Rek'Sai already in position to start it. I believe they are on the Baron already.
Ooh, tried for the read there, but you're right. Already taking up on that Baron buff. I don't think there's a blue trinket up too. But they're going to be able to see this with that one ward outside of the pit. They had an idea, but might be able to get a pick on towards Killua. Killua comes out free. Oh my god. All right, so he's dead. But Ben4 in a pretty tough spot. Oh, Windy also able to find a flank there. So actually a pretty big win for Victory 5 at the end of that one.
Yeah, that was a perfect teleport position coming from Wendy, and they're still chasing up on ZWuJi.
All right, ZWuJi, full damage on top of his head. The Ezreal is down, and they have a wave coming through mid. They might be able to take an inhib off this one.
You don't expect the sneaky Jace coming in from behind, getting the perfect hammer slam down and taking away the position from Rogue Warriors. A Baron bait into a double kill. And this composition just works so much better than the last one. They have the tools to stay ahead early and finish up with the Talia.
Sometimes good information can still kill you. That ward saw them coming in, so Rogue Warriors wanted to contest, but that finally got the Victory 5 fight that they've been looking for. Been trying to get a pick all day long, and so finally it comes through. And it might still net them the Baron. I say might for a reason. Okay, it's going to net them the Baron. Goodbye. The jungler is gone. He's off the map. I was concerned a little bit there with the Tahm Kench coming in as well, but it's not going to happen. Maybe they can stop a few bases. See, I mean, this is a little bit tough for Rogue Warriors. Rogue Warriors, once again, trying to see if they can pick up another fight around the Baron buff that we saw in Game 1.
V5 can turn on this fight. Rogue Warriors don't really want to chase this one. And after that one, V5 should just be looking for a lane where the minion wave is as pushed as far out as possible and just all group on it.
So take a look at it. It was Killua getting picked off on this one. At half HP, wanted to get out, and it was Rek'Sai that fully went in. He had stopwatch as well, so he's like, fine, I can get in there, I can get the assassination, and I can get out knowing that my team will be around me. So that's the confidence that you want to see. In fact, let's talk about this confidence. The Talia said we can get this kill too. Fully went in, didn't even need the flash, so Y4, please. You didn't need that one. But still, recognizing that they can get the kill at any means necessary, they were able to get the extra one. 10-1 is the current kill count there for Victory 5.
You got to get it secured against an Ezreal, so I respect that play from Y4. They're looking to close in the game. Full team siege like we were talking about. Just looking for the most push lane. And they've got the poke to deal with any of the HP bars from Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, fully pushing them off away from the inhibitor turret. The inhibitor itself is going to go down too. Perfectly timed the wave coming in through mid. So Victory 5 doing a lot of good work here. Taking down 2 inhibitors now from Rogue Warriors, but might be able to find a pick. Flash away there. Rogue Warriors still not be able to find anything.
Great decision by Mold to follow the flash with the flash. That was a 5v4 if Rogue Warriors could find it. Still lacking the engages without flash though. So I don't see how V5 actually get engaged upon if they're able to set up their traps here.
Take a look at this, Clement. This is the final inhibitor they want to be able to take down. If there's a line to be drawn somewhere, Rogue Warriors have to draw it here.
Traps in the sand. Finally, they have the big package.
Okay, all right. I think that's about it. I think that's the fight that Rogue Warriors want. A lot of damage put on towards Ben 4. Being answered back to Killua, though. What? Please stop taking those tunnels. That's the second time that an accidental tunnel has been taken, and I'm about sick of it. All right, that's another wave coming through, so suddenly with 3 inhibitors down, you don't have to pick any fight. Victory 5 has recognized that, and they're starting to clash in. Here comes the next wave in the mid lane, so 2 waves crashing at the same time. Rogue Warriors, please do something.
They just can't find the engage. Their only engage is actually just the Infernal Chains from Holder. How can you expect that to do well?
You can't bleed out slowly. This is what the game is turning to. It's fairly depressing. You got to do something. Holder's on his own on this one, but there's another kill coming through. HuaTian on his own. He's down. And they're just going to focus on the dang Nexus itself. Actually, they're going to get a few kills for themselves. They're going to run it on through. Finally taking the Nexus itself. It's going to be 1-1. Victory 5, even it out. We were talking about that Gambit. Going back to the same composition that they had in game 1. They were confident. They said, hey, man.